Now, staying in the tech segment here, but moving into some software, Apple is expected to retire iTunes after 18 years. That'll make you feel old. The idea that iTunes has been around for 18 years. Everybody hates iTunes. I never met anyone, nor have I read a single article from somebody praising iTunes. It seems to be the most hated software that everyone needs to use and uses reluctantly. iTunes has been the way Apple users listen to music, watch movies and TV shows, hear podcasts, and manage their devices for almost 2 decades. This year, Apple is finally ready to move into a new era. The company is launching a trio of new apps for the Mac: music, TV, and podcasts to replace iTunes. That matches Apple's media app strategy on iPhones and iPads. Without iTunes, customers can manage their Apple gadgets through the music app. So this is a long time coming, as I just mentioned. iTunes, a holdover from a technological age that no longer exists. It's come and gone. It's funny, you show this old screenshot of what iTunes looked like in 2001, and obviously it's changed a little bit over the years, but it's still like this long list, the artist name, the album, like that still exists in modern iTunes. And just glancing at it now, it feels so antiquated. It feels like so many apps that existed in that era in 2001. You remember, like, whatever you had, Real Player and Winamp and the various ways that people listen to MP3s. And it's true. It really feels weird in this era. The name of it feels weird in this era. Apple has their own music service now. You're getting TV in there and podcasts in there. It's quite confusing. It's the place you sync your device. So I think this is probably a good thing. You got to move on at a certain point. Kind of crazy, though, because iTunes, as we look back now, drastic impact on the music industry. You know, the deal that was cut with the music industry, that Apple was able to achieve with the music industry there, the 30% cut or whatever it was, unprecedented. Panicking, scrambling in the face of products like Napster, you may recall, and piracy and Metallica. Remember all that stuff? Mm-hmm. And so iTunes, Apple, they struck at the perfect moment. Let's cut a deal. We'll get you some money. We'll get you a little bit of money. And of course, at the time, all the artists were like, the ones who signed up, some of them, a lot of them still weren't happy. They were like, hey, this cut is too big. And they weren't happy with iTunes even back then. And then you come to the Apple Music, Spotify era, and everyone's like wishing it was back like it was with iTunes when they could get $1.99 for a track, because now they get a penny for a play, or a half a penny. They would love a penny for a play. What am I talking about? Half a penny? I don't know what it is. No one's happy. And in the meantime, creating content, making music, more people than ever doing it. So, but you look at this is a throwback. This is definitely, it's a time machine looking at what iTunes looked like in 2001. And as I mentioned, a lot of people found it to be a headache as far as the software was concerned. It seemed like Apple was just keeping it around because it was just kind of, it was there. It did what it was supposed to do, and so what? But it definitely doesn't seem like it belongs in 2019. And so I think Apple's making a good move here. You put it to bed. iTunes can go take a nap, and now you have the separate apps. I can see some people maybe don't like to have all these different apps, but it just makes sense because iTunes grew to become all these weird different things all in one. Apple has ambitions in the TV department, as we saw in their most recent keynote. And, of course, podcasts have become a big part of people's consumption habits in the content segment. That doesn't really fit as well on iTunes as well. I already noticed that we publish this podcast in audio-only format, and there's 2 separate sections, one for iTunes, one for Apple Podcasts. So I say the writing was on the wall here. We sort of saw this coming. Now, of course, you can listen to it elsewhere. Will's just reminding me right now. It's not, of course, you don't have to go to Apple Podcasts. You can go to Google Podcasts, Google Play, Pocket Casts. You can get the audio version of this in a lot of places. But anyhow, iTunes getting retired at WWDC. Get ready for the new apps. Hopefully they're decent. They're going to be separate. So that's that. I say rest in peace.
You did your duty.
Farewell,
iTunes.
sweet prince. Is that good night, sweet prince? Is that the meme? I don't. Farewell. I don't. What can I? iTunes. I'm telling you, no one's gonna shed a single tear on this. Those iTunes lovers are not out there. In fact, if you're an iTunes lover and you don't want it to go anywhere, leave a comment. I bet you there won't be a single one. Well, there will be now, but
You didn't have any fond memories?
no,
None at all.
no. iTunes. It's a nightmare. Everyone knows that.